Kani kadega Batesi TV, bat pidang pet yaki kubor baman kasni, balwan rasha pi da ka Orange Nissan, lom so po niya Fabricate Shillong, ringkat bat ka BDW International School Nongmansong, Langkarding Shillong. Admissions open now.
Komisi benta jong jing rakhi ya jing yai lenti ka ba nyo pusan snem jong ka kot khobor The Shillong Times ban pathai jing tip shaki pai ba nong shong shnong hagajala ki try bat nong tray jong ka ni ka kot khobor ki la mi shakhman ban perlong da ka jing Ïathir ya tai kumno ban wat ya ki lat ki lenti ban pen sngo tho shaki pai ba ban kiar kat bala na ka ba bread bat pentu ya ki jaklia jaklat shaka wa Umkhrah bat ka wa Umshyrpi ki balong ki artali ki wa ki ba samleng ba ki ba bun ki shnong ki badon hasor Shillong. Utrai jangka kot khubor The Shillong Times Manas Chaudhary bat ka editor jangkani ka kot khubor ka kong Patricia Mukhim ha ka jing ekran bat ke lat pathai khubor ha ka khatlai tarik ulber arhajar arpho kilai thu ba yakani ka Lympung Ïathir yatai on saplong ha ka arphuai tarik ulber arhajar arpho ha ka ba on sawani shimenta lang daki kenhon ba pher.
We are busy at the moment cleaning up Shillong. We have undertaken this work in August, and this is an ongoing program. And we have decided that we should meet you and tell you, because you are also stakeholders. Everybody wants Shillong to be clean, but everybody's baby is nobody's baby. So we want to have a dialogue with the people who are supposed to look after the cleanliness of Shillong, the citizens, the authorities, the government, the other official agencies. All together, we plan to have a dialogue. And that's built for 21st of this month. Our Chief Minister will inaugurate. We have two basic business sessions. One session is about the solid waste, that every household produces a lot of waste. How to collect and how to finally dispose of it. So this is one problem we have to address in one session. And the other session is about the water bodies. There are a lot of water bodies, the streams, the walls, all these are very dirty. How to keep them clean. So this is the first time in Meghalaya that we are addressing these issues, very critical issues, for you, for me, for everybody. So this dialogue is very significant. We have given you a press release, Compat and Rudy will join in, but let me just finish my introductory remarks by saying only one thing, that we want public participation. We cannot depend on government. Government alone cannot keep town clean. We all citizens must come forward. So we have requested the Rambashram, they are the real local authorities, we have requested them. We would like you to write about that. The Rambashrams must come forward and assume some responsibility. Give some directions to the government, because the government agencies will be there. So we want to see how we can create a roadmap. A roadmap that will be sustainable, not just one day. It's not one-off kind of a program. It's for a long time to come. So everything will be discussed on those two segments, under those two segments. So firstly, I want that media must come. Without you, this program will never be successful. So my request to you individually, collectively, that your presence that day, find out what people say. We are expecting about 150 to 200 people to turn up, and this dialogue will be for a whole day. We will provide them with lunch and tea and whatever is necessary, we will give them. But that's not the point. The point is, why we are giving lunch and all that is because you don't have to worry about lunch. You can sit down and understand the issues at stake. We have to understand what is the problem. Why Shillong municipality or urban affairs cannot do it. Or why the citizens are not listening to the call of the town. That we must keep our town clean. Why are they not cooperating? So something needs to be done. How to do it? If other cities can do it, why can't Shillong do it? That's a question. So these are some of the very critical questions will come up. So we request you to come and be present and file a story, comprehensive story of what transpires. After the day-long program, we are going to have a declaration both urban affairs and the citizens will jointly create a declaration which will be the common minimum program. We are pushing the government that you must keep our town clean. You must keep our rivers clean. We alone cannot do it. We have done it. Pynkhuid will tell you now our experience in the last so many months. That we do something, then again we find that this is not enough. We come back to the square one.
By sticking to Umkhrah, we are reducing the flow of garbage into the Umkhrah. And from Umkhrah, we know that it goes on to Umyam. But every time we've gone there, we have found that the garbage remains the same. That this last Saturday when we did, for in about 1 hour and 15 minutes, collected a huge amount of garbage. So the question is, where does the garbage come from? It comes from the different localities. Because the river Umkhrah, it comes through so many Darbar Shillongs. So unless we have a proper gateway for every, to end at where every Darbar Shillong ends, then every Shillong will blame the other Shillong. So we want to put an end to this blame game and see how we can make sort of traps or barrages that end in a particular locality, so that that locality will be responsible for collecting that garbage or for telling the residents that this is a punishable offence. In fact, we are bringing somebody from Indore. I think you've all heard of how Indore is the cleanest city. So somebody is coming to share experiences from Indore, and Manas had gone to Indore to do a first-hand check over there, and he learned from there that there is a strong invigilation system. There is a strong inspectorate system which finds people on the spot. So I think we also have to develop some kind of mechanism, because this appeal doesn't seem to make much dent in people's minds. Maybe when they have to pay, it's like that polluter pays principle. Whoever pollutes has to pay. If that can be brought in, and if there are many more people going around being vigilant about which other localities that throw the most garbage into the river, or which are the specific individuals, which are the shops that dump their garbage in the river, then maybe we can bring in some kind of change. And we are working with the Martin Luther University, other colleges as well. And Martin Luther University students from the Environment Department have been going to homes to also create awareness. But we also understand that mindset change is the most difficult change to bring about.
I come back to Shillong now. I've been here now 6 years since I retired. It hurts me to see that Shillong is not the same which it used to be. I left about more than 40 years ago. I kept coming, of course, every year practically, but it's not the same. So that's why it makes me that I must, in this whole initiative by Shillong Times, thanks to Shillong Times, we take this opportunity, in fact, to create this operation cleanup and then to do something about it. Now, you as the media, of course, Manas mentioned that you are one of the stakeholders. I think it's very important that compartmentalized mindset, this awareness part of it. So I find that people, even what surprises me is that even people who are supposedly educated, they look educated to me, at least the way they attire and they dress, the fancy cars and the mobiles they use. But still, I still see them throwing things on the car or when they walk or whatever. It's a habit, I think. So I think we have to transform that. So it's a lot. So let's start, let's say, structure-wise, Kompad mentioned about Ranbashna. That is the grassroots part, I think, which is most essential if you can make them aware. Because in the system of ours that we have, a lot depends on these Ranbashnams. I know Darbarshnams together. I know that there's a lot more because of more population is there. So there's more pressure on the roads. on the garbage collection, on the waste management collection, on the entire infrastructure. There's a lot of pressure. But again, at the same time, when it comes to litter and garbage and waste management, the role of the Ranbashnong is very, very important.